Good evening here from Beijing, where Treasury Secretary Yellen just wrapped up a busy 5 days here in China. First, she was in Guangzhou in the south, and then in Beijing, where she met with numerous top officials, government officials, students at Peking University, took cultural tours. She received a warm welcome here everywhere she went, Frank, but did deliver a tough message, particularly when it comes to this issue of overcapacity, this idea that Chinese government has been subsidizing industries like EVs, lithium-ion batteries, and solar panels, flooding the world with these cheap exports. So that's where I started our conversation.
Well, they certainly listened, and I think they understood that this is something that's very important to the U.S., but as I emphasized, and I think they've also heard, we're not the only country that's concerned about a flood of Chinese exports wiping out important firms and industries in our country. And clean energy is something that is an innovative area that will be growing over time. We want to make sure that this is an opportunity for our workers and our firms to participate in this industry. Europe, Japan, other countries feel the same. It's fine for China's firms to export in this industry, to develop it, but some of the techniques that they use, subsidizing their firms very heavily, and then supporting them even when they're losing money, when demand is weak relative to this great capacity to supply products like solar panels, prices just plummet, and it can drive our firms out of business. And this is something that's unacceptable from the U.S. point of view, and many of our allies feel the same way. So I think that they understand it. It's been part of their industrial strategy. It reflects the importance that they attach to advanced manufacturing. It also reflects a shortage of demand in their economy, so that they're investing heavily in manufactured goods that can be exported. And these are things that really can lead to trade tensions going forward, which we would like to avoid.
Well, I was going to ask if you actually expect them to do anything about it. Already there was a headline today that the commerce minister in China said that those accusations are groundless.
Well, I do think that they understand where we're coming from, and they have agreed to continue an intensive dialogue on this issue. I think they understand it's important, and they do have tools that they could use. Perhaps that would take a while to have an effect.
Like export restrictions?
Well, I'm not thinking so much of export restrictions as some shifts in their macroeconomic policy and a reduction in the amount of particularly local government subsidies to firms in these industries.
I was going to ask what's at stake economically, because, I mean, the world don't we need green technology? We need EVs. We need solar panels. It's been a big push by the Biden administration. So what are you afraid of?
Well, we do. And there's going to be a growing, we expect and we hope, because we want to deal with climate change, we expect a global economy in which the demand will be increasing. And there's nothing wrong with investing in these industries and developing capacity.
Because we do it, the Inflation Reduction Act.
We do it too. We just want to make sure that we're not driven out of business, and that our firms and workers have opportunities in these industries, which will be important ones in our future.
If they don't shift, are we looking at potential tariffs on these products?
Well, I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. We need to keep everything on the table, want to work with the Chinese to see if we can find a solution. We are engaging in a 4-year review of Section 301 tariffs. That's not complete, so I can't really speak to what will come of it. I wouldn't rule anything out, but I think we need to deal with this issue.
Those were the tariffs that were imposed during the Trump administration.
That's right.
That you've
That's
kept.
right.
Are they still very concerned about that? Did you hear about that in the meetings?
They usually raise the issue of the 301 tariffs. They've said for a long time that they would like to see them reduced. Of course, they were put in place because there were findings of unfair trade practices against the United States. And Vice Premier Hu, who's my counterpart, and I have agreed that while trade and investment between our two countries is beneficial and desirable, it needs to be on a level playing field. And in a number of ways, we feel it's not. So we're really raising this issue in that context. I think we also feel, especially after the pandemic, that the resilience of our supply chains is something we need to take more, pay more attention to. And being overly dependent on any single country for a very important good that's used in your economy can lead to a dangerous fragility in supply chains. And in the case of some of these clean energy goods, electric batteries, the minerals that go into them, solar panels, we have been very, very heavily dependent on China. And that's another reason that we and other countries want to have some domestic capacity ourselves.
You mentioned other countries, but China has been flooding Europe, for instance, with cheaper EVs. Can you blame Europe, which doesn't have as much growth right now as the U.S., for having closer trade ties with China?
Well, I mean, Europe and China do have close trade ties. Europe benefits from exports to China, but on the other hand, the car industry is very important in countries like Germany. Europe doesn't want to see these industries destroyed. They're an important source of jobs and very valuable ones with good pay.
So should they increase protections to prevent all of these EVs from flooding their market?
They have started an investigation of whether or not there's dumping of electric vehicles by China in their markets. And, you know, many countries have ways of investigating dumping, preventing it by putting tariffs in place. And that's something that WTO rules permit.
We have tariffs. We haven't seen Chinese EVs in the U.S. Should they be allowed to sell their EVs in the United States?
I mean, they are allowed to sell their EVs in the United States. We don't have rules against it. Again, in that area as well, we're trying to foster a domestic industry. We're certainly open to imports, including those from China. There is no rule against China selling EVs in the United States.
But we have higher tariffs on them than Europe.
We do have tariffs on them, I believe. But, you know, this is for us an important industry.